It's time to speak about yet another challenge that I realized that I simply have not overcome. What's up, guys? So today I had a situation in my job. It was nothing severe, really. It's just that I realized that my personal opinion just gets in the way so much of just my daily life in general, whether it be my friendships, my personal relationships, or family matters, whatever, my home life, whatever. And now, of course, I am seeing stuff just appearing in my job as well. So clearly, there is a trend going on, and I just want to break it down and just address it, and maybe you guys will be able to relate or have some advice for me, or just tell me that what I know, which is it's normal and it's all right for me to be going through this. It's a part of living. I just want to share it, want to talk about it because it's part of what happens to me. That's what I am here for, to learn and to just share stories and experiences. So hear me out. You guys know how we have been hit by these natural disasters and hurricanes everywhere that you go that is retail related. Even online, Chick-fil-A. When I use the Chick-fil-A app, you scroll so far and you see something about would you like to donate to the American Red Cross, help us raise money, da 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 da. And well, since I work retail, I see that too. Part of my job is to be prompting people to donate, getting them to donate, or asking them to donate, whatever. In a situation like that, since this stuff is unpredictable, it's happening at a very inopportune time, because usually I have no problem with asking for money for fundraisers, no matter what it is, be it disaster relief or my organization's charities. Unfortunately, I am the one who is exposed to the people, to the public, most often. Therefore, I get a feel as to how people are feeling, and people tend to voice their annoyances. And you guys know me, and you guys probably this is probably the thing that turns you off about me, but you guys know that when it comes to conflict, I am as sensitive as I can be. I get intimidated easily. You guys remember the story of my brother and how I did not stand up for myself despite being exposed to danger. What other stories have I shared? Anyways, you guys know it. Like, I avoid conflict at all costs. At my job, it is no different. I did my initial attempts of asking to raise funds for our organization's charities. And some people were like, people are asking for money everywhere. And it doesn't help that the holiday season is coming up. When the holiday season comes around, I know that that is what we do. Therefore, I am mentally prepared to handle that. And I will be on character and I will have no problem asking, and people will give me their excuse, and I'll be prepared because I know that if they get defensive, I'm anticipating it. But in a situation like this where we're asking for disaster relief, and we also have the situation of we have our schedule for our organization's charities that we have to follow as well. So we keep saturating people with getting money, and in modern days it is so difficult to not feel some type of way about asking people for extra money when we know that people are tight on money. Most of the times, this is something that shocked me, and I'm just so happy that people think this way still. It's reason to admire them. Even people who don't have a lot, they tend to still give. Like, I know that I do that myself. Sometimes I'm super tight on money, but if I know that someone doesn't have lunch money, I buy it for them. I do not even think twice about it. While it may seem like I'm reaching when it comes to this, like, girl, just do it, just ask, do your thing. It just doesn't help that as a person who suffers from anxiety and I like to avoid conflict at all costs, that gets in the way and that does affect my performance. And unfortunately for me, this kind of job, or maybe every job in the world is like this. They don't accommodate you for how you feel. You have to fulfill your tasks, your duties, because that's what you get paid for. And if you cannot do it, then you should be let go of, or you should just quit or whatever. But I can't do that because as an adult, I need to survive. And the way to survive is I have to work to make money. And I know that the people I work with, they understand this because we have talked about this. But they too have rules that they have to follow and they have to answer, so they have to enforce those rules. But it's just crazy. That's why, as much as I like a job like this, which is challenging me personally, for me to face my fears, to deal with my stress, it helps, but at the same time it doesn't, because when stuff like this happens, you just realize how this is not the right place for you to be at, or this is not the right thing for you to be doing. Like my boyfriend says, and I really agree with him a lot on this one. He says, I encourage everybody who has an idea, any kind of idea, to work on it, try to build up on it, become your own boss, your own leader, and just roll with it. And it is so true, because when you are your own boss, you answer only to yourself, only you are accountable, only you are responsible, and you know what your limitations are, and you establish the rules to the game. Like, I could bend my rules. I know that I am not going to be expecting for my team to be executing this type of duty, which is asking for money on the side for charities, when I know that they are the ones being exposed to the people who are going to be annoyed, and they have every right to be annoyed, even if our charities have the best of purposes intended and they are great causes and whatever. But like I said, for me, I'll do anything to avoid conflict or to avoid being told something that is negative. So I can understand that. And if I ran the show, if I ran the business, that's how I would be. I'm like, you know how we have this schedule about charities? Let's hold off on that. And let's just have a sign and passively go about it. Like, if the person sees it and they want to donate, good. I don't know, for me, I just feel like I'm being so rude about it. And the problem is that my company, rightly so, has expectations also that I have to comply with to be on good standing when it comes to my performance. But at the same time, that's when I say the human factor is so important. We cannot ignore the fact that no matter how productive you want to be, how great you want to be, how proactive you want to be, your feelings get in the way, your personal opinion gets in the way, and that should be allowed. That should be okay. That's what makes us human. But I feel like in the business world, you are penalized for that. And something that I have learned about working with people is people want for you to be genuine, sincere, and to just be nice, period. So this is a great opportunity to be nice about it and be like, you know how we typically have our goals this time of the year with our personal charities? Well, given that nature hasn't been on our side lately, we're going to hold off on that, because as much as we have our goals and we believe in this, we understand that a lot of people are affected by this. So we don't want to give you this extra thing to consider or feel this pressure about contributing to. If you miss it, then you'll be like, hey, you guys typically around this time of the year have this charity that funds this and that. Is that going on? Can I contribute? Let it come from the consumer. Let it come from the patron. Let it come from the customer. Don't just be pushing it on their face. That's really it, guys. I know that this is probably not big of a deal. I'm overthinking it too much, but like I said, as a person who deals with anxiety, I'm very sensitive about people being annoyed and irritated. Although I know that I have the backup of, say, my supervisors, whatever. I mean, sometimes when stuff happens, they're not there or they cannot immediately come to my aid. So that's when I have to be independent and take responsibility, own the situation, and roll with it. So as much as I would love to say that, okay, I can find refuge in the fact that they'll be there for me and back me up and they'll, defend me and whatever. Realistically, not every time there's a conflict, they're going to be readily available. You know what happens during those 15 seconds, critical 15 seconds or minute, whatever it is. Like, what is left of me? I have to take care of myself because no one else is going to do it. So how do we deal with that, guys? Do you have an experience in the retail world to where you have to do this? Or how do you feel as a consumer when you get bombarded with questions to contribute to charities? Do you just brush it off? Do you actually get annoyed and let your clerk know about it, your cashier, whatever? Just how do you react to that? For me, I like to just brush it off. I'm just an overall all around nice person, and I'm like, not today, because either I gave to something already or I don't explain to them why, but I just say not today. And most of the time when I don't give, it's because it's not my money. Like yesterday, I did a purchase on mom's behalf, so I had her card with me, and I was like, not today, because this purchase is not done by me. I cannot be making those kinds of decisions, even if I wanted to. Yeah, you guys, just let me know what you think. I want to hear what you have to say. Any advice, be rough with me if you want to. What's your opinion? What's your experience? I had a good chat today with one of my supervisors, so I feel like even though everything he said is stuff that I know, it's just that at the moment that he confronted me, I was like, just not ready for it. I'm just good about picking up the energy in the air and knowing when it's an opportune moment to be doing something. So I said these first couple of days, I'm going to skip it, and then maybe between tomorrow or the next day, that's when I'll resume my normal activities, because I feel like that's not as fresh in people's memory. I know how to think that way. I can think that way in fractions of seconds, but when your responsibility is to see the money pouring in, you don't care about the human factor. You only care about seeing the result that you want. So it's just too many personalities composing a team, trying to come together harmoniously to work toward the common goal, which is make money for the stakeholders. But also our personal charity so that we look good as a company. It's just hard, I like to discuss this and put it out there because maybe you guys can make it seem less intimidating, or just help me find a way to just get over it and not have this conflict of opinion and thoughts and feelings get in my way of being the productive worker that I'm supposed to be. Like in everything else, I'm outstanding, but when it comes to sensitive matters like this, I don't know, I just like to be human and stay human. How can I manifest myself outside of my personal life, at my job, stay 100% in character of what my expectations are without letting my emotions get in the way? Basically, how can I become cold in how people feel and just go about it? And how can I prepare my mind for any possible rude comments or any conflict that what I'm doing may generate? Alright guys, I am eager to hear from you, so just let me know in the comments below, as always, what your take on this is. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.